How is it practicing? It's a little milder out there. It feels like fall.
Oh no, it feels great outside. We like it when it gets a little cooler. I don't know how long this nice weather will last before it gets too cold, but it's really nice outside right now.
Very good. How do you feel? Your offense has been very consistent this year, running the ball, getting into the red zone, and then scoring touchdowns. How do you feel the consistency of your offensive line and your offense has been so far?
I think we've done a good job. I always think we could improve, just getting better, miss assignments, little details in our assignments that can help us stay consistent. But our guys in every single room we have, QBs, slots, Bs, do a great job on their assignments. So I think that's the key to consistency, just locking in on what you have to do on every single snap, getting your eyes in the right spot, and then just making the plays when we can.
And what is your study of Ball State shows so far? What are some of the things that you look for in an opponent when you have a chance to watch game film?
When watching game film, mostly we just watch techniques, watch how they're going to react to certain things, watch their alignments, the different fronts they jump into. But as an offensive team, there's not too much like stuff that a lot of people do against other teams that they do against us. So it really comes down to our fundamentals, our execution, and showing them something on Saturday that they haven't seen before, speed and technique wise.
Have you noticed they have a lot of fifth-year seniors on their team? Due to the COVID situation, and they've got just a very experienced team. Their quarterback is a fifth-year player, and a number of the defensive players. Do you note that? What's that experience when you see it in an opponent say to you?
They've played a lot of ball, and playing ball in the FBS for 5 years, that's impressive, and they have a lot of experience. So taking every single rep and understanding that they might make a play, might understand some things that we're not prepared for them to understand, but just coming back and having that courage to battle again on that next snap.
Hey, thanks, Dean.
Absolutely, Ken.
Hey, Dean, how's it going?
I'm sorry, go ahead, Sal.
Dean, you guys are off to a 4-0 start. You really had some good performances on offense. What do you think is the next step for this team and this offense heading into this part of the schedule?
Just maintaining our hunger for improvement. Like you said, we are 4-0, not getting too high, not getting too low, and understanding that it comes down to doing our job and improving on the fundamentals every single day. And that's what will carry us through this season, and that's what we have to focus on to maintain 1-0 every week. Not really worry about anything else other than the next snap, the next rec, the next practice, the next game. So just worrying about us and worrying about our fundamentals, our effort, cutting down on missed assignments, just improving, because we have done a really good job on the offense this year, but just keep improving because there's always things that we could do better.
Absolutely. I was talking to Connor Finucane earlier today, and he said how the older players really have pushed him to get better and pushed them for playing time his freshman year. And now this year he's starting. What have you seen of him this year and his improvements or his play so far?
I love Connor Finucane. He's improved so much. And I've been here with him since day one or whatever. He's improved so much in terms of knowledge of the game, knowledge of our offense, knowledge of opposing defenses. He's improved so much. And he's a warrior, like no doubt, warrior, comes to work every day, hard hat type of guy. And then on top of that, he's one of the smartest football players I've ever been with and maintains his hunger for the game. And that's why you see him on the field every Saturday doing a really good job. So, and what I've noticed about him this year specifically is that it hasn't stopped. He wants to get better every single week. And that's one thing I admire about him. And when he's slacking off, I get on him. When I'm slacking off, he gets on me. And for the first, I think 2 games, we were right next to each other. And I really enjoyed that. I got slid over, but he does a really good job of coaching other guys up as well too. But he's turning into a great leader for our offensive line.
I appreciate it.
Dean, Ken McMillan, the Times Herald Record.
How you doing, Ken?
Good, thank you. That was a nice analysis of Connor. So turn it on to yourself. Tell me about you as a player and how you've kind of developed. What are your strengths, do you believe?
Uh, this summer, I just really focused on being the best player I can be for this team. Listening to Coach D and Coach T about the fundamentals and what I can do on the field, and really reviewing my career as a whole and things I need to strengthen. And those guys in that room, we really hold each other accountable. So just every day coming in, working on the fundamentals, and I think I've become a better fundamental player, a faster player, more physical player this summer. But just really leaning on those guys and trying to play my best ball for the guys next to me.
You obviously were able to crack the lineup as a freshman. How much of an advantage is getting that early playing time in the development of your career?
It's a huge advantage. Just like with Connor and Booby Law, they had older guys teaching them the ropes. I had Austin Shuford and Bryce Holland, Jeff Panera, guys like that teaching me the ropes. And to play next to center Bryce Holland is probably one of the best things I've ever done for my career. I learned so much from him. And just getting that experience, like in 2018, we played against Miami of Ohio. So I already knew what type of defense they were going to run. I've already seen all of it. I've already practiced against those looks 3 years ago. So just little stuff like that has helped me become a better leader on this team and impart my knowledge of certain defenses, certain looks, certain fronts that I've seen throughout my time here onto the younger guys.
And obviously players get their opportunities at different rates or different pace. You got your chance early, but sometimes it takes a year, 2 years, 3 years to get this opportunity. So you must have been doing something right from the get-go.
Yes, sir. Thank you.
Mm-hmm. But the other players, what's your advice to the guys who, maybe haven't seen that time yet, if they're freshmen, sophomore, or even juniors? Do you feel like their time is coming? What do you talk to them about?
I just tell them to stay focused on their job. You never know when a guy's going to go down, when you're going to have your opportunity. It's about maximizing your abilities, right? So every single day you have to come in and fight complacency, fight yourself, like be better than you were yesterday, and you're going to improve as a player and you're going to get on the field, right? But I think guys, as we go in, they kind of get a little bogged down on not playing or whatever, but just preparing yourself every single day like a starter. So when you do get your opportunity in practice, when you do get your opportunity in the game, you play well. And we've seen that this year with some of the guys on the offensive line, like Zach Ward, Sam Barzak. Those guys haven't really played a ton of ball in our system, but this year, whether by injury or by them just playing well, have been put in some positions to really help our team in significant games and significant snaps. And they've done an excellent job. And we just see that work paying off. And just getting your group from top to bottom, everybody on the offensive line to just work like they're a starter. So when they do get their opportunity, we can maintain our high standard of play.
Give me your 4-year view of the offensive line. Are you guys the same all 4 years, or are there little differences and you just change the pieces? Is there a certain chemistry or a feel for this year's group as opposed to the last 3?
Every group is completely different. When I look back on my 4 years here, I remember every single year on the offensive line as like distinct and just different, because there's always different leadership, different people, and each offensive line is new every year. So like each offensive line also has like no bearing on the past. So like this year's group has no bearing on last year's group and the next year's group. So this group is totally different. Personalities are totally different than they were when I was a freshman. The attitudes, everything is just completely different. There is like a standard and there is a culture of the offensive line that remains the same, but there's just so much like diversity of like attitudes and stuff in our offensive line. But usually our culture and our chemistry is like very good in our room, very tight knit group.
How do you like being part of the mob?
Oh, I love it. I love it. It's my favorite part of the day when we get to come up here and play offensive line.
But is it kind of cool to have this identity, to have this thing that you kind of have to live up to every year?
Absolutely. And I would say that is consistent. We are very grateful of the players that have come before us, that taught us the ropes. And there's not necessarily a pressure, just a responsibility to lead this group, the responsibility to do your best on the offensive line and perform when you need to perform. And there's a standard for how we play, and we're supposed to meet and exceed that standard every single day. And those Bryce Holland and also Shuford taught me that, and they passed it down, and I'm passing it down to the guys that I'm playing with. And every week, that's the goal, is to be the mob. So when you turn on the tape, it represents our culture.
And if you don't mind, last thing here, can you give me a big picture sense? You've been here for 4 years. So why West Point in the first place? How's your experience been? And what's the future?
This is the best decision I've ever made. I tell people that. I told the team that this summer. This is the best decision I've ever made. I've met some of my best friends here. I've grown tremendously as a person, as a player, as a man, and I think that's going to help me in the future. And going forward, I'm excited to graduate this institution. I'm excited to do great things in the Army, and just try to strive to be 1% better every single day and do my job to help people. And that's really what the Army is about. It's a people business. So hopefully when I get a chance to lead people, I'll do a great job and leave a legacy of Army football players doing an amazing job in the Army as well. So.
Did you like the challenges? Do you like overcoming these obstacles?
While you're in the obstacles, you don't like the obstacles. But once you get over them, looking back, it's a rewarding process. I've struggled with a lot of things here, including swimming, like summer trainings and everything. While you're in it, you're pretty beat up, down bad. But once you get done, and once you get over another hurdle at West Point, you feel an extreme amount of pride in what you're doing, and you're very. It's a very rewarding process as well.
Thank you, Dean.